Ladies and gentlemen, elections are over. The results are out. The Bharatiya Janata Party hasn't quite hit the 400 mark, but they have put a government in place. And just when you thought it was over, the RSS decided to throw in some advice / caution for the BJP. Mohan Bhagwat spoke of arrogance. He spoke of overconfidence. He spoke of Manipur. He spoke about the divisive poll campaign. He spoke about how the opposition is not an adversary, but an entity whose views need to be heard and respected. He spoke about consensus building. Question is, why is the BJP's ideological fountainhead schooling it publicly? Is it an indication of a rift or just some friendly advice from the RSS? We are looking at that, but first, let's quickly hear from Mohan Bhagwat.
और चुनाव प्रचार की या चुनाव में जो होता है उसकी बात ऐसी है, वास्तव में तो प्रजातंत्र की अनिवार्य आवश्यक प्रक्रिया है और उसमें दो पक्ष रहते हैं, इसलिए स्पर्धा रहती है। स्पर्धा रहती है तो दूसरे को पीछे करने का, स्वयं को आगे बढ़ाने का काम होता ही है, होना ही चाहिए, परंतु उसमें भी एक मर्यादा है। असत्य का उपयोग नहीं करना। चुने क्यों जा रहे लोग संसद में जाएंगे, बैठकर अपने देश को चलाएंगे, सहमति बनाकर चलाएंगे। हमारे यहां तो परंपरा सहमति बनाकर चलने की है। सहमति बने इसलिए संसद बनती है, लेकिन ऐसी सहमति बनना स्पर्धा करके आए लोगों में थोड़ा कठिन भी रहता है और इसलिए हम बहुमति का आसरा लेते हैं। उसके लिए स्पर्धा चलती है। स्पर्धा है, कोई आपस का युद्ध तो है नहीं। जिस प्रकार ये बातें हुई, जिस प्रकार एक दूसरे को लताड़ना हुआ, जिस प्रकार प्रचार के दौरान हमारे करने से समाज में मनमुटाव बढ़ेगा, दो गठ बटेंगे, आपस में शंका संशय उत्पन्न होगा, इसका भी ख्याल नहीं रखा गया और विनाकारण संघ जैसे संगठनों को भी उसमें खींचा गया। टेक्नोलॉजी का सहारा करके असत्य बातें परोसी गई, नितांत असत्य। अब 1 साल से मणिपुर शांति की राह देख रहा है, उसके पहले 10 साल शांत रहा। पुराना गन कल्चर समाप्त हो गया ऐसा लगा और अचानक जो कलह वहां पर उपज गया या उपजाया गया, उसकी आग में अभी तक जल रहा है, त्राही त्राही कर रहा है। कौन उस पर ध्यान देगा? प्राथमिकता देके उसका विचार करना ये कर्तव्य है।
Why is the RSS schooling the BJP publicly? I'm putting that question to my guests who are joining me this evening. Karan Verma is an author joining us on the broadcast. Kamruzaman Chaudhary is a political analyst with us on the broadcast as well. And Professor Geeta Bhatt is a political analyst joining us. Karan Verma, any theories? There have been conspiracy theories in Uttar Pradesh, and I'm fairly certain you've heard of them, about how there has been a rift between the RSS and the BJP, which cost the BJP rather heavily. Is this a proof of that? Or is this just friendly advice that the RSS is giving the BJP? How do you read what Mohan Bhagwat has said?
I think it's friendly advice and it's a healthy atmosphere where, the BJP, let's not miss the forest for the trees. The BJP is still emerged victorious. It's just, like in a family, one is bothered about the other where they can even excel and do better. So that's the starking difference between the BJP and the Congress, where Congress is overjoyed after missing out the three-digit mark for the consecutive third time, but the BJP is introspecting. And nowhere has Mr. Mohan Bhagwat said that something, in fact, what he said was the misuse of technology to spread misinformation. He was pointing towards the Congress, how that deep fake video of Mr. Amit Shah actually did reach down to the last mile and did impact. So I think it was a friendly advice. In no way is it how people are making it to be something publicly reprimanding the BJP or none of that whatsoever. So I don't know. I think it's a case of fertile imagination when you talk about conspiracy theories. I don't see.
I mean, 4 days ago, 4 days ago, immediately after the election results, there was a meeting between senior RSS functionaries and senior functionaries of the government as well. But Karan Verma, ठीक है, मतलब you can say what you want to say, but if you heard Mohan Bhagwat's speech, what is he talking about? He's talking about arrogance. He's saying, and if you heard the speech, कि जो आपका सेवक होता है, कार सेवक होता है, उसमें अहंकार नहीं होता. Now, अहंकार, arrogance is a word that was used over and over again the day the election results came out. He's speaking about Manipur. You can't be saying that technology, he was referring to the Congress party. Manipur is the, the BJP is the party in power in Manipur. It is in Manipur that both the seats have been won by the Congress party.
Right.
He's publicly telling you that you have mishandled Manipur.
No, he never said that. He never said that because that's not factual. Yes, what we've seen in Manipur over the last 1 year is unfortunate, but it's been a legacy issue. This government has done
what is
far
not factual?
more than any government has done for the Northeast. I mean, he never said that you've mishandled Manipur. That's your imagination. That's your twist to it. He never used these words that the BJP
He
has
didn't have to
mishandled
say
Manipur,
it.
as you're saying.
He didn't have to say it.
In fact, he said that
he said for
elections should
10
not
years the
be-
guns were quiet in Manipur,
Because it's
and
not a
for
fact.
1 year
Because
Manipur
it's not
has
a
been
fact.
burning. What is he saying?
Yeah.
Achha, it's not a fact that Manipur has been burning for 1 year,
so who's been
that
in
more than
charge for the last 10
220
years?
people have died, more than 60,000 people have been...
What am I
Who's
saying?
been in charge for the last 5 years? ये सवाल पूछ लो.
Will you let me speak, please?
हाँ, Karan, बोलो. Go ahead.
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ ना. What did he say? Did he say BJP's mishandled Manipur? He in fact said that over the last few years, Manipur has been peaceful barring the last year, and I agree with him. The last 5-7 years have seen giant strides in peace in Manipur, except for the last 1.5 years, which is very unfortunate and which requires our immediate attention. Nobody is denying that. These have been legacy issues which the BJP tried solving, since at some places they did fall short. But on any day, on even their worst day, they were 10 times better than Congress, which left the Northeast, completely deserted it, called it tyranny by distance. The Rajya Sabha member, Mr. Manmohan Singh, for 27 years did not even visit Assam 6 times in those 27 years. Prime Minister Modi has visited more than 50 times.
Kamruzaman Chaudhary is from the Northeast. I'll let him respond to you.
Problems, all being addressed by the BJP. So many MIZO agreements, all of them enforced by the BJP. So, let's talk facts here.
Karan, why is it that both seats in Manipur have gone to the Congress party if the BJP has done such a stellar job in Manipur?
Can I come in, Shreya?
नहीं हो गया. Let Kamruzaman come in.
Shreya,
I am not
नहीं रुक
saying
जाओ.
the last...
Wait, let Mr. Kamruzaman
I am not
come in.
saying the last 1.5 years
are over.
stellar work.
Yeah, Karan,
I agree the last 1.5 years have fallen short. I'm not denying that.
Elections are over. No, Shreya, that's the problem that RSS chief today wanted to highlight, Karan bhai, already the elections are over. You have got a mandate to run the government. There are no elections in the near future, at least for 6 months. So it's better to call a spade and go forward. Because there is no participatory democracy at present in India for the last 10 years, what we saw. Shreya, you know one thing, what I appreciate about Mohan Bhagwat, though I differ in him on ideologically. Today, in a very nuanced way, he tried to criticize Narendra Modi's one and Narendra Modi's two government. He tried to bring the fact that the drawbacks that the Narendra Modi governments had over the last 10 years, that we as opposition were trying to highlight, bring to his notice. But because of the arrogance of his ministers, of himself, the narcissist attitude that he had having all along, we could not drive home the point. In a democracy that Mohan Bhagwatji said, that it has to be a participatory democracy. Rather, what we have seen here is a unilateralism. How many parliamentary standing committees have you allowed in this country? How many bills have you passed by dismissing, by disqualifying the MPs out here? These are the questions that need to be answered here. What the RSS chief has asked is a course correction from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and if these people do not listen now also, then it's dark for Indian future, Indian democracy in future. He was hinting at the jobless growth, agrarian crisis, multidimensional poverty, stagnating industrial growth in Manipur. Now, Shreya, just 10 seconds, I'll finish it off. These are the points that he wanted to drive home, that Manipur has been burning for the last 1 year. where there is a clear divide between two sections of the communities. What have you done for this? You have a BJP government in place. You have shown no interest in solving the Manipur's problem. Leave aside the Manipur problem. You being the Prime Minister of this country, you have spread fake news during the election time, suggesting that आपके हिंदुओं माता बहनों का मंगलसूत्र छीन के मुसलमानों को दे दे. This is the type of fake narrative that you have spread in the country. Your one MP Anand Hegde says, हमको 405 चाहिए because we want to change the constitution. So these are the issues that was highlighted by Mohan Bhagwat ji, and I hope the majoritarianism that we witnessed in the 1 and 2 is not there in NDA 1 at least.
Professor Geeta Bhatt, as someone who studies the RSS closely, is associated with the RSS closely, I want your frank opinion on how you view Mohan Bhagwat's comments that came in. Very public, few days after election results, which haven't exactly gone the BJP's way. ये बातें बोलनी थी तो आप private में भी बोल सकते थे. But it was said publicly. How do you interpret what has been said and why it has been said?
Well, Shreya, you see, this was an address. Which was meant for an internal. It was a organizational program where he was addressing the Swayamsevaks, and the address was meant for all the political class. For all the political parties, because the kind of campaign which was running, irrespective of the political background, there were various accusations which were made, how the technology was being misused, and also the kind of respect that should be there, even with when those who are in opposition, whether the political party is in power or in opposition. So that is something which he was on a larger scale, because RSS is an organization which is committed to nation building and is committed to for the cultural and social integration, and they have been working for it. They have been working for safeguarding the democracy of this country, and they are not politically inclined per se. But it was, I think, only during the emergency when they directly came and became, part of the whole turmoil which was there in the emergency days. That was the only time. And when the Janata Party was formed, after that, they again, went back and started doing their social work. But the point here is...
Professor Bhatt, fact is that they are very much part of India's culture right now. Professor Bhatt, but I'm running out of time. Point is that they are very much part of India's political culture right now. They are the fountainhead of the BJP, and they have schooled, the RSS chief has schooled, you would say all political parties, but for me specifically the BJP, on what perhaps went wrong in these elections. Is this caution? Is this friendly advice? We'll leave our viewers to decide on that. But I'll wrap it here. Thank you very much. Good to hear your views. Karan, thank you very much. Gussa mat hona. I cut you short today. Mr. Chaudhary, thank you very much. And Professor Geeta Bhatt, thank you very much for joining us this evening.